Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Tuesday, full August 26, 2025. The latest developments in Genoa City mark a turning point for many characters as their lives become more entangled in deception, suspicion, and a series of uncomfortable truths. At the heart of these shifts is Lily Winters, whose calm and perceptive demeanor has long made her a force to be reckoned with. However, in the midst of the growing tension within the business world and personal lives of those around her, Lily finds herself increasingly drawn into the orbit of Holden Novak, a man whose actions she can no longer ignore. Holden, who had once been an ally to those around him, is now the subject of Lily's suspicions. His dealings are becoming more opaque, and Lily's finely tuned instincts tell her something is off. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. As she interrogates him, her concern grows, not just for his behavior, but for what he may be hiding. Victor Newman, always a master of strategy, knows the value of uncovering the truth before anyone else does. And it's clear that Holden Novak's secrets could be dangerous for all parties involved. The tension between Lily and Holden intensifies as she digs deeper, determined to get to the heart of whatever wrongdoing he may be involved in. Her questioning grows more intense, and with every answer, her doubts only multiply. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Meanwhile, Nick Newman and Adam Newman find themselves on opposite sides of a critical discussion about their father's plan. Victor, a man who never does anything without purpose, has laid out a strategy that both brothers struggle to fully understand. The tension between the Newmans, always present under the surface, comes to a head as Nick and Adam assess the pros and cons of Victor's ambitions. For Nick, his loyalty to his father and his own career ambitions keep him aligned with Victor, but his doubts about the plan grow stronger. Adam, ever the provocateur, challenges Victor's every move, questioning whether the end justifies the means. Their discussion reveals much about their personal goals, their differing approaches to business, and the ever-constant tug-of-war between them. The stakes of their debate are high as Victor's decisions continue to shape the future of the Newman family, and Nick and Adam's differing opinions create further rifts in an already fractured family. On the personal front, Sally Spector finds herself caught in an increasingly complicated situation. As her career at Abbott Communications continues to evolve, Sally is faced with more difficult decisions than she ever anticipated. Her involvement with Billy Abbott, both professionally and personally, is beginning to impact her in ways she hadn't expected. In a lighthearted moment of respite, Sally arrives at Billy's home to try on outfits for the upcoming launch of Abbott Communications. With her keen sense of style and Billy's eye for detail, they share a playful moment as Sally becomes a reluctant model for Billy's critiques. Though their relationship has been filled with professional tension, this moment of fun offers a rare glimpse of joy. For a brief moment, the stress of their lives fades away, replaced by laughter and camaraderie. It's a much-needed reprieve for Sally, whose life has been anything but easy. However, this lightheartedness won't last long. Sally knows the pressure she faces in the business world, and Billy's surveillance of Kane Ashby is just one more element that complicates her future. Billy's secret monitoring of Kane may seem like just another piece of corporate intrigue, but it's far more significant than that. Billy, with his always watchful eye on the business dealings of Genoa City, has been keeping tabs on Kane, and what he has uncovered could be explosive. Sally will soon find herself in the middle of yet another personal and professional dilemma as she grapples with the knowledge that Billy has been watching Kane closely. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. This revelation will force Sally to confront her own position in the Abbott family business and figure out how to align herself with Billy. Knowing full well that Kane's dealings could bring ruin to Abbott Communications if they aren't dealt with. Amid all of this, Kane Ashby is summoned to a meeting with Victor Newman, and the confrontation between the two men is nothing short of explosive. Victor, ever the strategist, does not mince words when he accuses Kane of underhanded tactics and involvement in shady business dealings. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Victor's suspicions about Kane's operations have been brewing for some time. And now, with the mounting evidence of wrongdoing, he wastes no time confronting Kane hidden. Kane, who has always tried to maintain an air of legitimacy, is caught off guard by the accusations, particularly because Victor's claims are rooted in the past actions of Kane's father, Colin Atkinson. Victor knows all too well that Colin was a conman and fraud, a man who used manipulation and deceit to build his empire. The fact that Kane is now being accused of using his father's ill-gotten gains to finance His own efforts is a serious accusation that could bring everything Cain has worked for to the brink of collapse. Cain's desperate defense, claiming that his father had reformed before his death and had even conquered his demons, rings hollow to Victor, who has always believed that Colin's deceit runs deep. But Cain's emotions are raw, and his anger at being associated with his father's crimes is palpable. He swears to Victor and everyone around him that his father had indeed turned his life around before he died. But Victor is not convinced. For the fans of The Young and the Restless, this is a moment that stirs up memories of the past, particularly the controversy surrounding Colin's various scams. Cain has long struggled to separate himself from the shadows of his father's actions, and now, with these new accusations hanging over him, it seems like the past is catching up with him in the most devastating way. The question that looms large is whether Victor has hard evidence to back up his claims. If he does, Cain's world could come crashing down. But Cain's unwavering denial and attempts to justify his actions suggest that he will fight this accusation with everything he has. He may even try to turn the tables on Victor, accusing him of using Cain as a scapegoat to cover up his own mistakes. In this tense standoff, Victor's position is clear. He wants Cain to own up to his actions, whatever they may be. And he is determined to expose any financial misdeeds that may be hiding beneath the surface. Cain, for his part, is trying to defend the empire he has built. But the cracks are beginning to show. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. If the evidence of wrongdoing is uncovered, Cain will have to confront not just his past, but also the future of his career, his reputation, and his relationships with those closest to him. In the end, this confrontation between Victor and Cain will have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. Whether or not Victor can prove his accusations, Cain's future is now uncertain. And the fallout will affect not just the Newman family, but also the Abbott family and the entire business landscape of Genoa City. The truth about Cain's dealings may eventually come to light. But what will that truth mean for those who have trusted him? And how will it reshape the power dynamics that have governed Genoa City for so long? The suspense is building as Lily Winters digs deeper into the mystery surrounding Cain Ashby's covert operations in Genoa City. As the tension escalates, Lily's determination to uncover the truth about Cain's shady dealings is becoming an obsession. With each passing day, the stakes grow higher, and Lily is faced with the growing realization that she may need to break through walls of silence, manipulate her way through enemies, and confront dangerous allies to expose Cain for what he truly is. Holden Novak, a seemingly harmless figure in the story, finds himself at the center of Lily's investigation. While Cain has kept his cards close to his chest, refusing to reveal his secrets, Holden is an intriguing piece in this puzzle. Subscribe our channel for more latest update, but Holden's allegiance is uncertain, and Lily is relentless in her pursuit of answers. What is Holden hiding? Can she trust him? Or is he simply another pawn in Cain's deceptive game? As Lily confronts Holden in the Chancellor Park, a place where secrets are whispered and alliances are forged, the tension is palpable. Holden is caught off guard by Lily's persistence. He maintains his position as a man who was merely hired by Cain, someone who follows orders without question. Yet his insistence that he knows nothing about Cain's covert plans only fuels Lily's suspicions. He claims he has no knowledge of any illegal activities. Yet his vague answers and clear discomfort speak volumes. Despite his protests, Lily isn't buying it. There's something in Holden's demeanor, the way he avoids her gaze, the way he sidesteps her questions, that only deepens Lily's resolve to get to the truth. Lily's mind is made up. Holden may be hiding something crucial, and she's not ready to let him go without getting the answers she needs. But Holden, ever the enigmatic figure, sticks to his story. He's just a man doing his job, grateful to be employed by Cain and following instructions without question. He insists that Cain has never trusted him enough to share any of his secrets and that he is at best a pawn in a larger scheme. But Lily isn't so easily convinced. As she stares at him, her mind races. Can she push further? Or will Holden continue to refuse to cooperate? Despite his reluctance, Lily feels something shift within her. A quiet understand. Despite his reluctance, Lily feels something shift within her. A quiet understanding that maybe the truth lies in taking a different approach. Victor Newman has always been a formidable player in the world of Genoa City, and it's becoming more and more clear that Lily might need to form an alliance with him in order to outsmart Cain. Subscribe our channel for more latest update, but that would mean playing the game on a whole new level. Victor's own dealings are as murky as Cain's, And if Lily aligns herself with him, she will have to deal with the complexities of manipulating not just Kane, but also Phyllis Summers, the woman Victor has appointed as Kane's trusted right hand. Phyllis is a powerful force in her own right, a woman with sharp instincts, a fiery temperament, and a non-nonsense approach to business. Her loyalty to Kane is unquestionable. But Lily knows that in order to defeat Kane, she may have to out Phyllis as well. The question is, can these two alpha women, each with their own ambitions and strategies, coexist in the cutthroat world of Genoa City, or will their rivalry lead to explosive confrontations, both in the boardroom and outside of it? The dynamics between Lily, Phyllis, and Victor will undoubtedly create sparks in the coming episodes. With Phyllis at Kane's side and Lily potentially aligning with Victor, tensions between these two women will reach new heights. While they might appear to be on opposite sides of the battlefield, their shared goal to bring down Kane and expose his empire of lies could lead them into uneasy alliances. But how long will it take for their egos and ambitions to collide? And what lengths will they go to in order to secure victory? As Kane Asheb moves forward with his plans, the stakes are becoming more dangerous by the day. The quiet, calculated moves he's been making to build his empire of influence are now facing unexpected obstacles. Victor's suspicions are growing stronger, and Lily's relentless pursuit of the truth is threatening to expose everything Kane has worked for. Can Kane keep his plans under wraps? Or will the walls start closing in around him? Subscribe our channel for more latest update. As Lily digs deeper in Victor's power moves into play, Kane's once stable world is now under siege from all sides. For Y&R fans, this is the kind of intense drama that keeps you on the edge of your seat. With each new twist and turn, the stakes continue to rise. Kane's secrets, Lily's growing suspicion, Holden's cryptic role, and the impending clash between Lily and Phyllis create a storyline that promises high tension, shocking revelations, and the unraveling of carefully laid plans. Will Kane's empire crumble under the pressure? Will Lily be able to expose the truth, or will the menacing forces around her prove to be too strong? Only time will tell. In the high-stakes world of Genoa City, the upcoming episodes are packed with tension and betrayal, and the fight for control in Genoa City is just beginning. As Kane's shady dealings come to light and alliances shift, every character must decide where their loyalties truly lie. But, with secrets, lies, and betrayal hanging over them, there's no telling who will come out on top in the end. Stay tuned as we continue to watch the fallout from these explosive revelations unfold. The latest developments in The Young and the Restless continue to captivate the audience with dramatic shifts in both personal and professional relationships. Jack Abbott, ever the protector of his family's legacy, is gearing up for another battle as threats to Jabbo loom large. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman is struggling with the evolving dynamics of her family, especially concerning her daughter, Mariah Copeland. As the situation between Mariah and her loved ones becomes increasingly complicated, Sharon's concerns grow. But it's not just about Mariah's secretive behavior. There's something more unsettling brewing beneath the surface. The increasingly close relationship between Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti Jr. Jack Abbott has always been a fierce defender of the Abbott family name and legacy. As CEO of Jabbo, he has built the company into a powerful force in the business world, and he will do whatever it takes to protect it. But now, with new threats emerging, Jack's determination to safeguard Jabbo is more urgent than ever. Whether it's dealing with corporate rivals, personal betrayals, or family drama, Jack is prepared to go to any lengths to ensure that his family's company continues to thrive. His protective instincts are especially fierce when it comes to his children. And no one dares to mess with Jabbo without facing the wrath of Jack Abbott. However, it's not just the business side of things that's weighing heavily on Jack. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. His personal life is also in flux, as the Abbott family dynamic shifts with various tensions rising within his own household. Jack must navigate the tricky waters of family loyalty and corporate responsibility. With Kyle and Summer managing their own challenges, Jack has to stay sharp, balancing his role as a father and businessman. But in true Abbott fashion, Jack will not sit idly by while his legacy is threatened. The stakes are higher than ever, and his resolve to protect his family's future will drive him to make moves that may change the course of Jabbo Inc.'s future. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman finds herself grappling with concerns of her own. While her daughter Mariah Copeland has always been a strong-willed, independent woman, Sharon can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Mariah has been distant, and Sharon's instinct tells her that her daughter is hiding something significant. But it's not just about Mariah's behavior. It's about Mariah's marriage. As her relationship with Tessa Porter begins to show signs of strain, Sharon fears that Mariah's happiness is hanging by a thread. Despite Mariah's outward confidence, Sharon suspects there's a deeper issue at play. One that Mariah isn't ready to confront yet. But Sharon's worries don't stop there. A new development catches her off guard as she begins to notice something between Tessa and Daniel Romalotti Jr. that she hadn't before. What started as innocent friendship between Tessa and Daniel has gradually turned into something more, something that Sharon can't ignore. While Tessa and Daniel have always had a friendly, professional relationship, Sharon starts to see the growing chemistry between them. Their moments together seem to linger longer than expected, and their interactions are filled with an intimacy that Sharon can't help but notice. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Tessa, once completely devoted to Mariah, now appears to be drawn to Daniel in a way that raises questions about her loyalties. Sharon can't help but wonder, is Mariah aware of this growing bond? Sharon, who has seen her daughter go through so much, begins to worry that Mariah may be in the dark about the evolving connection between Tessa and Daniel. With each passing day, Sharon's concerns deepen. She knows how much Mariah values her relationship with Tessa, and the possibility of Tessa and Daniel's romance coming to light could devastate her. If Tessa and Daniel do indeed act on their feelings, it could tear apart Mariah's relationship, further complicating the emotional turmoil that has already been brewing between them. As Sharon contemplates these developments, it's clear that Mariah's emotional state is precarious. With her personal life unraveling, the truth about Tessa and Daniel's relationship could be the tipping point. Daniel, who has always been a part of the Newman family circle, has history with Mariah and has seen the struggles she's gone through. But now, with his connection to Tessa growing stronger, Daniel seems to be slipping away from Mariah's grasp. Whether it's a conscious decision or an accidental unfolding of emotions, Daniel and Tessa's closeness is undeniable, and Sharon can only watch as her daughter's world begins to crumble. The tension between Mariah, Tessa, and Daniel is now at a breaking point. Will Mariah confront Tessa about the growing attraction between her wife and Daniel? Will she be able to accept the reality that her marriage might be on the brink of collapse? Subscribe our channel for more latest update. As Sharon watches her daughter struggle, she becomes more concerned about the emotional damage that might result from this new love triangle. It seems inevitable that Daniel and Tessa will eventually give in to their feelings for each other. Whether they act on it sooner or later, the fallout from their actions will likely be explosive. Will they be able to keep their relationship a secret? Or will it eventually break Mariah's heart? Sharon, already concerned for her daughter, now has to deal with the possibility of Tessa and Daniel's kiss turning into something far more serious and the consequences that will inevitably follow. The drama unfolding in Genoa City suggests that Mariah's marriage isn't the only thing at stake. The relationships between Tessa, Daniel, and Mariah will not only test the strength of their bonds, but also challenge their loyalty, trust, and love. With emotions running high, Sharon is left wondering how she can help her daughter navigate the heartbreak that might be coming her way, as the people closest to Mariah may be the very ones to break her heart. As fans of Y&R eagerly await what will happen next, the complex dynamics between Sharon, Mariah, Tessa, Daniel, and even Billy continue to evolve. Each relationship is filled with passion, suspicion, and unresolved feelings. Will Mariah be able to salvage her marriage, or will Tessa and Daniel's growing connection become the catalyst for her heartbreak? Sharon, as always, will do her best to protect her daughter, but it's clear that in Genoa City, love and loyalty are constantly tested, and sometimes Sharon, as always, will do her best to protect her daughter, but it's clear that in Genoa City, love and loyalty are constantly tested, and sometimes the truth is more painful than anyone could have imagined. The awakening of alliances and power struggles. The residents of Genoa City have always been used to drama, but the recent developments surrounding the Newman family, Kane Ashby and Victor Newman, threaten to shake the city to its very core. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. As tensions rise and alliances shift, some of Genoa City's most influential players are forced to make decisions that could change everything for better or worse. Nick Newman and Adam Newman, long known for their deep-seated rivalry, have finally decided to put their differences aside. It's been a long road to reconciliation for these two, a relationship fraught with betrayal, mistrust, and bitter arguments that often found them on opposite sides of every conflict. But when faced with a common enemy, both Nick and Adam realize that it's time to set aside their personal history and unite. Their renewed cooperation is not just for family unity, but for a shared goal, stopping Cain Ashby from executing his increasingly dangerous business ambitions. Nick, who has always taken a somewhat moral stance on business ethics, and Adam, who has repeatedly walked the line between ambition and ruthlessness, have finally found common ground. Both men are horrified by the direction Cain Ashby is taking, a path that threatens to engulf every major corporation in the city, including Newman Enterprises, Jabot Cosmetics, Chancellor Industries, and possibly even Winters Enterprises. For Adam, the idea of losing control over Newman Enterprises is personal. It's more than just business. It's about proving his worth to his father, Victor Newman. For Nick, it's about protecting the family legacy that has always been at the heart of everything he's worked for. Together, the two Newmans decide that no matter their past grievances, their focus now must be on Cain's rise to power. This unexpected alliance between Nick and Adam marks a dramatic shift in the power dynamics of Genoa City. Victor, long accustomed to having his sons at odds with each other, watches as the two men finally put their differences behind them. However, Victor knows that this newfound unity comes with risks. He's well aware that both Nick and Adam have their own agendas, and their willingness to work together doesn't mean they trust each other completely. But for now, Victor is willing to let them work in tandem against Cain. Their combined force is one of the only things standing between Cain Ashby and his ambition to control everything in the city. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Cain Ashby's dangerous game. Cain Ashby, a man whose past is filled with scandal, manipulation, and ruthless ambition, now seeks to expand his empire to all corners of Genoa City. His strategy is nothing short of audacious. He aims to take over Newman Enterprises, Jabot Cosmetics, Chancellor Industries, and even Winters Enterprises, consolidating power in a way that would make even the most seasoned business mogul shudder. The audacity of Cain's plan is staggering, and it's clear that Victor Newman has no intention of letting him succeed. Victor, who has spent years building Newman Enterprises into a global powerhouse, sees Cain's attempts at domination as a direct threat to his own empire. The idea that Cain, a man with a history of questionable dealings and manipulation, could take over Newman Enterprises is enough to make even Victor's calm demeanor crack. Victor has always been a man of action, and he knows that if Cain's power grab isn't stopped, everything he's built could come crashing down. But Cain is no fool. He spent years quietly setting the stage, building alliances with key players in Genoa City, and now he's ready to make his move. As Cain continues to expand his reach, Victor prepares to confront him head-on. Cain's recent actions are seen as a direct challenge to Victor's dominance, and Victor knows that the only way to secure his position is to dismantle Cain's operations. However, Victor is faced with a difficult choice. If he decides to go after Cain too aggressively, it could open up a war between them that could tear apart the foundations of both men's empires. On the other hand, if he allows Cain to continue his takeover, he risks losing everything he's worked for. Victor's internal conflict is palpable as he struggles to determine how far he's willing to go to stop Cain's rise to power. The investigation. Lily Winters and Holden Novak. Lily Winters, ever the vigilant and intelligent businesswoman, has grown increasingly suspicious of Cain's dealings. Having been married to him and seen his rise to power firsthand, Lily knows just how dangerous his ambitions can be. But there's something even more troubling at play. Holden Novak, Cain's former associate, is an enigmatic figure who has recently re-entered the orbit of Genoa City's corporate world. Lily is certain that Holden knows more than he's letting on, and she won't stop until she uncovers the truth. As Lily confronts Holden at Chancellor Park, her suspicions grow. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Holden insists that he's just a hired hand doing Cain's bidding without knowing the full extent of his plans. He claims that Cain never trusted him enough to share any of his secrets, but Lily doesn't believe him. Holden's unease, his lack of eye contact, and his reluctance to speak freely all hint that there is more to the story than he's letting on. Lily's determination to get to the bottom of this drives her forward, but she quickly realizes that Holden's loyalty to Cain runs deep. It's not going to be easy to crack his defenses. The interrogation doesn't yield any major breakthroughs, but Lily's resolve is unwavering. She suspects that Holden knows something important, and she's willing to push him harder to get the truth. But the question remains, will Holden eventually crack? Can Lily break through his guarded exterior and uncover the details of Cain's schemes? Or will Holden continue to protect his old boss, even at the risk of his own future? Victor's ultimate play. Will he go after Cain's legacy? As the conflict between Cain and Victor escalates, Lily finds herself in a precarious position. If she aligns herself with Victor, she may be able to take down Cain once and for all, but that could come at a personal cost. Lily knows that aligning with Victor comes with its own risks, and she must carefully consider her next move. The battle for control of Genoa City is not just a corporate struggle. It's a personal war between two of its most powerful families, and Lily is caught in the middle. But there's also the question of whether Victor will be willing to go after Cain with the same intensity that he's used in the past. The legacy of Cain's rise and Victor's legacy are deeply intertwined. And Victor knows that if Cain succeeds in taking over the city, it could permanently alter the power structure of Genoa City. The future of Genoa City is uncertain as Lily, Victor, Cain, Nick, Adam, and Holden all play their parts in a grand chess game where the stakes are higher than ever. As each character weighs their loyalties and ambitions, the power dynamics of the city are at risk of changing forever. With secrets, lies, and betrayals looming on the horizon, fans of Y&R can expect nothing short of an intense showdown between these formidable players. Cain's rise to power is just the beginning, and Victor's determination to protect his empire will put him on a collision course with those who stand in his way. But as the lines between loyalty and betrayal blur, one question remains: who will ultimately control Genoa City? Victor Newman, the master strategist. At the heart of Genoa City's power struggles lies Victor Newman, the patriarch of the Newman family and the mastermind behind Newman Enterprises. Victor is not a man who reacts impulsively. Every move he makes is carefully calculated, often with decades of experience in manipulation, negotiation, and corporate warfare guiding him. But as with every seasoned player, Victor's motives are always shrouded in layers of intrigue. Victor's current battle is not just about defending his family's legacy, it's about maintaining his control over Newman Enterprises. Cain Ashby's recent moves to acquire significant assets, including Jabot Cosmetics, Chancellor Industries, and potentially Y&R Enterprises, have put Victor on high alert. Victor's response is not just reactive, it is strategic. He will fight to maintain control of the Newman Empire at all costs. But his move against Cain is also personal. Cain has been a thorn in his side for years, and Victor cannot afford to let him succeed in his mission. Victor's alliances are complex. While he is aligned with his sons, Nick and Adam, he has often manipulated those relationships to maintain his power. He is not above using his children as pawns to further his own goals. The Newman family dynamics are always in flux, and Victor's ability to bend his sons to his will is one of his greatest strengths. However, as Nick and Adam have grown more independent and assertive in their own right, Victor is forced to navigate a delicate balance, ensuring their loyalty while also maintaining his own power. His relationship with Nick has always been fraught with tension, with Nick often questioning his father's methods and ethics. Yet, in this current struggle against Cain, Victor is willing to push his family to the forefront of the fight to keep Newman Enterprises intact. Victor's strategic brilliance will either make or break this corporate war. Cain Ashby, the rising power. Cain Ashby, once a minor player in Genoa City's corporate world, has grown into a formidable force. His ambition knows no bounds, and the battle for control over Genoa City's major companies has become the battleground on which he intends to assert his dominance. Cain has spent years building his empire, and he sees this as his moment to claim the top spot in Genoa City's power structure. Cain's rise is not without controversy. His past is riddled with questionable decisions, business dealings that may have crossed ethical lines, and a complicated family history. However, his ambition is undeniable. He wants to control Jabot, Chancellor Industries, and Y&R Enterprises, and he will stop at nothing to achieve that goal. Cain has already started working with Holden, Novak, and other shadowy figures to gather the resources he needs to make his move. But he is also aware that Victor will not give up without a fight. Cain is keenly aware of Victor's power and influence, but he is not intimidated. He has his sights set on dominating the business world of Genoa City, and he believes that taking down Victor is the key to his success. Cain's alliances, however, are more fragile than he realizes. His work with Holden Novak and his attempts to form partnerships with other influential figures may come back to haunt him. Cain's ruthlessness may alienate those he needs to survive in this cutthroat game. Cain's relationship with Lily Winters, his ex-wife, is also in play. While their personal bond has been tested by betrayal and mistrust, Cain's ambitions threaten to pull her back into his orbit. Lily may find herself torn between her loyalty to her family and her growing suspicions about Kane's methods. Kane's desire to control the city could put their children and their family's future at risk. And Lily will have to make difficult choices about where her loyalties truly lie. Nick and Adam Newman, rivals turned allies. The dynamic between Nick Newman and Adam Newman has always been tense, filled with rivalry, distrust, and unresolved issues. Over the years, their relationship has fluctuated between brotherly bonds and bitter conflict, often playing out in personal and professional settings. Nick, the more emotionally driven of the two, has often found himself at odds with Adam, whose manipulative nature has always rubbed Nick the wrong way. However, in the face of a shared enemy, Kane T., the Newman brothers have chosen to set aside their differences and form a temporary alliance. This shift is not without its complications. While their combined efforts against Kane may be necessary, the distrust between them runs deep. Nick still has doubts about Adam's motivations. And Adam sees Nick as naive in his view of the world. But for now, they are united by a common goal to protect Newman Enterprises and stop Kane's takeover of Genoa City's business world. This alliance also serves a larger narrative function. By uniting, Nick and Adam are forced to confront their shared history, including their father's manipulations, their strained relationships with each other, and the long-standing wounds from their past. This unlikely alliance creates a fascinating dynamic as they navigate working together while also dealing with their personal issues. Their collaboration may be effective in the short term, but it remains to be seen how long it can last. Family loyalty, always a key theme in the Newman family, is put to the test. Lily Winters, the reluctant investigator. As Lily Winters begins to question Holden Novak's involvement in Kane Ashby's operations, her role as an investigator grows. Lily, who has always been a dedicated professional, cannot ignore the mounting suspicions about Kane and his dealings. While her history with Kane is complicated, her loyalty to her family and the truth drives her forward. Lily's decision to confront Holden Novak at Chancellor Park is not just about uncovering Kane's secrets. It is about asserting her own position. Within this power struggle, she suspects that Holden is hiding something, and her intuition tells her that he knows more about Kane's plans than he's letting on. But Holden's steadfast loyalty to Kane complicates things. Despite his assurances that he's merely a hired hand, Lily isn't convinced. Lily's efforts to get information from Holden will set the stage for a tense confrontation. She will need to decide whether to continue pursuing the truth or to align with Victor to take down Kane. Forming an alliance with Victor would put her at odds with Kane, but it could also lead to more dangerous consequences. The stakes are high, and Lily knows that her actions will have repercussions for her family and career. Holden Novak, the reluctant pawn. Holden Novak is a figure who has always operated in the background, but with his growing involvement in Kane's operations, he finds himself at the center of a web of lies, manipulations, and family loyalty. As Lily interrogates him, Holden's discomfort is clear. His position as a hired hand for Kane, though seemingly innocuous, makes him a target for those who seek to bring Kane down. Holden's knowledge of Kane's activities is valuable, but his loyalty to his boss is even stronger. Will Holden crack under pressure, or will he continue to protect Kane even at the cost of his own future? His role in this corporate war is far from clear, and his interactions with Lily Winters will ultimately determine whether he remains an ally or an enemy to the Newman family. A clash of titans. The stakes are now higher than ever, as Victor, Kane, Nick, Adam, and Lily all maneuver for control. Victor's plans are shrouded in secrecy, and his intentions to neutralize Kane's empire are becoming increasingly clear. However, Kane's ambition threatens to destabilize not just Victor's empire but the entire power structure of Genoa City. And with Lily's investigation revealing more than she anticipated, it's clear that Victor may have the upper hand for now. But in this game of high stakes, everyone has something to lose, and the next move could change everything. Loyalty, betrayal, ambition, and family are at the heart of this battle. And the next chapter in Genoa City's corporate war promises to bring shocking revelations, intense confrontations, and the rise of new alliances.